Hey guys, what's up? In this video I will compare the specs and features of the newly announced Motorola Moto G to the Motorola Moto X. So first of all, starting off from the display, the Motorola Moto G has a 4.5-inch display, whereas the Motorola Moto X has a 4.7-inch display, while both of the devices have a 720p display. This is not 1080p. Both devices are in the budget range, and also the PPI on the both devices are not different from each other. The Motorola Moto G has a slightly higher PPI than the Motorola Moto X at about 329 PPI, whereas the Moto X has 316 PPI, and the Moto X display is a AMOLED display, and which is more vivid than a LCD display of the Motorola Moto G. Looking at the weight and dimension of both devices, the Motorola Moto G has a 143 gram of weight, which is slightly higher than the Motorola Moto X or 130 gram weight. And in terms of thickness, the Motorola Moto G is, however, also slightly thicker than the Motorola Moto X at about 11.6 millimeter, whereas the Moto X is 10.4 millimeter in thickness. Looking at the software of both devices, the Motorola Moto G comes with Android 4.3, whereas the Motorola Moto X comes with Android 4.2.2 out of the box. In terms of processor, the Moto G comes with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 400 processor, which is basically a quad-core clocked at 1.2 GHz, and the Moto X has a Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 Pro, which has the Motorola's X8 computing system running, which is for some dedicated work, which divide the work in cores and something like that. And also this is a dual core 1.7 gigahertz with the Adreno 320 GPU, but the difference here is that the Moto G comes with a 1 GB of RAM, but on the other hand the Moto X comes with a 2 GB of RAM. In terms of storage, the Moto G comes with 8 GB of internal memory, and on the other hand, the Moto X comes with 16 GB of internal memory, and also the Moto X has a 32 GB variant, whereas the Moto G also has a 16 GB variant, but it doesn't matter because both of the devices doesn't have a micro SD slot. Looking at the camera of the both devices, the Moto G has 5 megapixel camera with LED flash, and on the other hand the Moto X has a 10 megapixel camera with LED flash, and the difference here is the video recording. The Moto X can record 1080p HD video at 60 frames per second, and on the other hand the camera on the Moto G can only record 720p HD video with at 30 frames per second, which is not the best because 1080p video is what best. 1080p video is the main thing that is common in on all of the smartphones out there. Even the Galaxy S2 can record 1080p HD video at 30 frames per second, but this device has been lacking in the camera department with only 720p HD video, which is not impressive. And on the other hand, the front-facing camera is 1.3 megapixel on the Moto G, and on the Moto X it's 2 megapixel camera, and also we do get more pixels here on the Moto X. So the camera here in camera department, the Moto X definitely come ahead of the Moto G. In terms of battery, the Moto G comes with a 2070 mAh battery, and on the other hand the Moto X comes with a slightly better 2200 mAh battery. So finally, looking at the price, the Moto G is definitely the budget phone between the two at about $179 off contract, whereas you can get the Moto X at a price point of $299 off contract, which is the 16 GB model, and also you can get the 32 GB model at the price point of $399. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, then please give this video a thumbs up, and for more videos hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in my next video. Peace out.